Hello everyone, Semi-Retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Kind of looking before I cross the street here because I thought I'd go up across the way here this time. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you choose to spend a little bit of your day with me here. Today we're going to talk about processed meats. I was watching a live stream Friday night, and this question came up, and while I don't disagree with any of their answers, I also think there's more to it than that. And this is just my opinion. This is what I've noticed in my personal N=1 experiment. And of course there's a dog here at this house that is just insane. But let's go ahead and talk about processed meats for just a few minutes here. First of all, one of the questions was, well, what kind of bacon do you use? Because I see bacon is cured with a lot of sugars and things like that. And yes, there is a lot of that out there. And you want to try to find the cleanest bacon you can. I agree with that. But this all goes back to the bronze medal food group. You know, with grass finished being the gold medal food group, grain finished being the silver medal, and processed foods, processed meats being the bronze medal food. Yes, if you're going to have bacon, you want it to be as clean as you can possibly get. However, even the so-called terrible bacon, you know, that's processed in, you know, maple sugar bacon or maple syrup bacon, whatever the different kinds of bacon are out there. Well, you don't necessarily want all that extra sugar. Any bacon is better than a bag of Cheetos. I just had bacon that wasn't the best bacon in the world. It was like Jimmy Dean's something or other. I don't remember. It was one of those pounds of bacon that I got for about $2 a pound a few weeks ago. It's been in my freezer. I thawed it out and did the whole pound up in the oven. And that's what I had for food today. I had a pound of bacon and 6 scrambled eggs. And the scrambled eggs managed to soak up the entire quarter stick of butter that I put in it. So it was a pretty good day. I like the days when I just get out a package of bacon and have a pound of bacon and some eggs. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to do that every day, but I think even the worst bacon in the world is still better than 99.9% of the foods, so-called foods, that you get at the grocery store. So while we want to try to focus on getting the cleanest meat we can, what we can afford, don't get hung up on that. I don't think it's as important as eating the bacon. So when it comes to what kind of bacon do I eat all of it. Same thing with, you know, we're talking about Spam and potted meat and deli counter lunch meat and all that kind of stuff. Is it ideal? No, it's not ideal. And with the recent price increases, it's probably more expensive per pound than just buying a roast or ground beef. I still have a lot of Spam because it lasts for a really long time, and I bought it back before the big price increases caused by inflation over the last couple of years. You know, I got all my Spam at about $1.50 a can. And at that point, it's fairly economical and it keeps forever. It says it has an expiration date, but as long as you keep it cool in a cool, dry place rather than, you know, don't store it out in the hot sun. Yes, it has an expiration date because all food has to have an expiration date here in the States. It doesn't really expire. I've never opened up a can of Spam and gone, ooh, that doesn't smell good. Well, okay. No, Spam doesn't exactly smell good, but it doesn't smell bad either. As long as the can's sealed up properly and hasn't rusted or split or any of that stuff, it'll basically last forever. I think the official shelf life is 5 years, but I know I've eaten cans of Spam that were more than 10 years old, and it was just fine. I'm still here. But back to the whole, you know, yes, today I would say if you're going to go to the grocery store, I would probably look at ground beef before I look at Spam or potted meat or Vienna sausages or any of that kind of stuff. But Vienna sausages, don't overlook those as something that you can eat on the go, because you don't have to heat those up. I don't think I'd want to eat raw Spam right out of the can, although you could, it wouldn't hurt you. I like it fried. But like Vienna sausages, you can eat those right out of the can. So if your options are limited, depending on where you're traveling to, where you're driving, whatever, because, you know, if you're doing an overnight drive to avoid the traffic, like I do a lot of times when I go somewhere, there aren't a lot of fast food places open to pull through and get burger patties at 2 or 3 in the morning. And having something like Vienna sausages, while, again, it's a bronze medal food, it's not ideal. There's a little bit of carb involved there. It's not perfect, but it's better than stopping at the gas station and getting whatever mystery meat sandwiches they happen to have in the cooler that you have no idea what's actually in that sandwich, even if you take the bread and throw it away. You got no idea what's in that. So let's not get so hung up on, you know, what's the very best food you can eat. Let's concentrate on what we can afford, what is sustainable for us, and are we having progress? Because there's nothing wrong. You know, if you're traveling and you find a 24-hour grocery store because you're hungry, well, you're probably not like me. You probably don't have your truck and your trailer with cooking stuff in the back that you can buy a pound of ground beef and cook it up alongside the road. There's nothing wrong with buying a package of Oscar Mayer all beef bologna and maybe a little tube of the mustard. The yellow mustard that, you know, is usually like 70 cents or so for a great big jar of it. There's nothing wrong with making that your meal. In the middle of the night, you know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're traveling down the road. Again, that's a lot better than buying a mystery meat sandwich, or because there's nothing else open, stop at the gas station and get a bag of chips. And even the dreaded beef jerky. Now, yes, beef jerky's much more economical if you make it yourself, and it turns out a lot better. Stay tuned, I've got a video coming up on that probably next week. I just got some thin sliced beef that I'm gonna try and make into jerky, and I'll keep you up to date on how that's going. But you know, even the dreaded Jack Link's beef jerky, that is, you know, loaded with other stuff. Is it the best thing to eat if you're out at, you know, 2, 3, 4 in the morning traveling somewhere? Or even in the afternoon? You know, is it the best thing to get? No. It's not the best thing you can get. But it's also not so terrible to work on satiating yourself a little bit, getting rid of some of the worst of the hunger, if you're not going to be home for a couple, 3 hours, or get to where you need to be, where you know you're going to be able to make some food. Because if you bypass that first gas station, because all they have is Jack Links, but then another half hour, 45 minutes down the road, you're like, man, my stomach is just trying to chew through my backbone. I gotta get something to eat. And then the next place you stop at, they don't even have Jack Links, so you end up getting some Twinkies and a bag of chips or something. Which was worse for you? So yes, I will agree that if we can avoid it, we probably shouldn't eat processed meats. But if it's a choice between eating processed meats and going hungry either one day because you're traveling or several days because that's all you can afford, eat the processed meats, folks. It's not that bad in comparison to everything else. I hope some of this video made some sense. Today is Saturday. You guys are probably going to see this on Monday. But I worked last night. I have to work again tonight, so I didn't walk that far, but I wanted to get some steps in the middle of my 2 working shifts. So we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty proud of myself that I actually managed to get some steps in today, because usually on Saturday I just kind of lounge around the house and don't do anything because I got to go back to work. But I decided I wanted to get out here and do my part for the July challenge. We're doing fantastic on that, by the way. Keep recording those steps underneath every video. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. I will see you in the next one.